The Avengers, Thanos. Also known as the Mad Titan, Thanos is a cosmic-level threat that has given the Avengers some of their toughest battles over the years. With his incredible strength, intellect, and, of course, his Infinity Gauntlet, Thanos has remained one of the greater threats to the larger Marvel Universe. While he's fought a multitude of heroes over the years, it's his battles against the combined might of the Avengers that are considered the most iconic, such as his starring role in 1991's Infinity Gauntlet storyline, which saw Thanos harnessing the Infinity Stones to erase half of all life in the universe to appease Mistress's death. This storyline went on to inspire the films Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame, reframing Thanos as a man trying to save the universe in his own twisted way. But in both versions, he manages to best the Avengers to the point of serious re-strategizing being needed, and sometimes even outright kills nearly everyone in the universe, like in the self-titled Thanos Volume 2, only being bested by his past self. Maybe it's luck or timing, but the Avengers' victories over the Mad Titan certainly don't come easy. The X-Men, Dark Phoenix. The Phoenix Force is one of the most powerful and feared cosmic forces in the galaxy, often linked to the X-Men's Jean Grey. The entity is so powerful that it can create or destroy universes on a whim, and when it becomes corrupted and is then known as the Dark Phoenix, it tends to swing for the latter when it comes to using its powers. Not long after obtaining the Phoenix Force, Jean Grey's psyche was shattered by the villain Mastermind, which causes the cosmic force to overwhelm the hero and rebrands herself as Dark Phoenix. From there, she engages in a casual killing of billions of people after consuming a star that a single planet orbited around. The unbridled power of the Phoenix Force is so deadly that a plan to destroy the entire solar system is tossed around just to see if it would kill it. And the worst part is that the X-Men have never really beaten it before. Usually, its defeat came at the hands of either the Force's host intervening or the Force leaving under its own accord. With maxed out stats and the potential to wipe entire galaxies out of existence, the Dark Phoenix is a force to be feared and should make anybody wary of the host it decides to reside in. The Fantastic Four, Galactus. Older than existence and ever hungry, Galactus is a comic threat most often associated with the Fantastic Four. Possessing the limitless potential of the power cosmic, the arrival of Galactus is always treated as a cosmic-level threat. Despite his awesome amount of power, it's hard to classify Galactus as a villain rather than a force of nature. This has often meant that the team can rarely defeat Galactus, but rather hinder or stall towards his next meal. As described by Eternity, Galactus's very being is tied to the balance of the universe, which means to test his power is to test the natural order itself. Reed Richards knows this, and after encountering Galactus for the first time, he threatened to use a tool called the Ultimate Nullifier to destroy the entire universe just to defeat him. Since his debut, he's tangled with powerful intergalactic forces like Odin, Dormammu, and Annihilus, proving just how much of a threat he poses to every living thing in the Marvel Universe. The Spider Family, the Inheritors. The Inheritors are a family of multidimensional, pseudo-vampires that survive and thrive off of consuming the power of spider totem avatars, which essentially includes spider-themed heroes across the multiverse. The first one Peter Parker ever encountered was Morlun, who even ended up killing Spider-Man during one of their first few encounters. But while Peter would manage to beat Morlun eventually, he would later return with an entire group of Inheritors, hungry to devour any spider totems they could. The group would kill several spider heroes across the multiverse, eventually leading to an event known as Spider-Geddon, which required a slew of multiversal Spider-Men to take down the Hunters. While maybe not the most well-known rogues of the Spider Family gallery, the Inheritors serve as a unique threat to all spider-powered heroes across multiple realities, curious in the fact that each is their own being and have no variance in the multiverse. And while Shathra, another dark and very powerful spider villain, may have managed to wipe out nearly all of the Inheritors at one point, it would be foolish to believe they won't find a way to come back. The Guardians of the Galaxy, Annihilus. Hailing from an alternate reality called the Negative Zone, Annihilus first began his career as a Fantastic Four villain. However, his intergalactic plans of conquest had put him into conflict with the Guardians on more than one occasion. In fact, Annihilus was the lightning rod that triggered the formation of the modern Guardians team, including Star-Lord, Drax, Gamora, and Rocket Raccoon. The interdimensional Insect Lord would bring a powerful army through a tear in the Negative Zone, obliterating entire worlds. During another invasion, Annihilus not only went to battle with the Guardians, but the likes of Thanos and Gladiator as a means of capturing and controlling the power of Adam Warlock. To this day, he's considered a universal level threat by the Nova Corps, and when he manages to rear his ugly bug head once again, you can expect the Guardians of the Galaxy to have something to say about it. The Eternals, the Celestials. The Celestials are a group of ancient space gods created during the first creation of the universe. They're cosmic architects of sorts and are responsible for the creation of the Eternals, as well as their antagonist counterparts, the Deviants. While not outright evil, their actions have caused their creations to rebel against them, especially when it comes to targeting Earth. The Celestials make a habit of judging other worlds and destroying those they don't find adequate. This has led the Celestials and the Eternals to tangling since the creation of humankind, as the Eternals often find themselves on the side of defending humans despite their imperfections. Even still, the Eternals are often forbidden from interfering in celestial matters, making them unable to combat them on many occasions. The Eternals will always fight for the lives of humankind, but only if it fits into the constraints the Celestials have designed. The Inhumans, Maximus. The greatest threat to the Inhumans doesn't come from a cosmic-level being, but rather one of their own. The brother of Black Bolt, Maximus is the most recurring and dangerous foe the Inhumans face due to his genius intellect, mind control abilities, and his political savviness. Because of his intelligence and ability to corrupt people's minds, he often employs a brains-over-brawn approach to taking on his brother and the rest of the Inhumans. Maximus has led several successful coups over his home city of Attilan, forcing the royal family into exile and inciting civil wars without barely lifting a finger. On top of that, he is incredibly unstable, making his actions difficult to predict as his motives and reasonings constantly change. Even while in prison, his reach into the minds and hearts of the citizens of Attilan is staggering, making it harder for the Inhumans to combat him behind a shield of the people they're supposed to protect. This makes him a truly unique archenemy, as his threat level comes not from overwhelming power, but a level of manipulation that the Inhumans often struggle to combat. The Thunderbolts, Anomaly. One of the most powerful threats the Thunderbolts ever encountered was Anomaly, a one-time physics student turned into a being of almost limitless power. After being driven mad by the death of his parents, Anomaly threatened to destroy Earth in order to counterbalance his home of Counter-Earth, a hidden planet located on the other side of the sun. This put him into direct conflict with the Thunderbolts, as their leader, Helmut Zemo, was sort of the one who suggested he destroy Earth. Luckily, Zemo was wrong, and with the help of the Thunderbolts, they managed to shove Anomaly back in the same dimension that gave him his powers. This may turn out to be only a temporary victory, however, as Zemo theorizes that the all-powerful being is not actually dead and could return one day.
We're all gonna die.